Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Riven 2024. I hope you're having a lovely day. It is 4 days later in the week than I usually record this. Normally I'd be recording this the Sunday after releasing the last one because I get to eat up all of your lovely comments and then go back into it with a fresh mind. But my week has been hectic, absolutely hectic. And so I've ended up recording. This is Thursday. I'm cutting it close. This is Thursday, and I'm releasing this tonight at midnight, first thing Friday morning for me. So I'll be up late. Thankfully, it's a long weekend. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a lovely spring. It's actually starting to be. What was the number for this one? This was the vertical eye. It's starting to actually get green here. I'm in northern Alberta, so it always takes a while, and there's very, very little snow left. But we've got some green grass. We've got the street cleaners out, pulling all of that gravel off the roads. It's actually really nice. Starting to get some more sunlight. Thank you for the comments you left, guys. This is not the best place to try talking to you. It's actually really noisy in here. Okay. So, thank you so much for the comments. I appreciate the nudges, especially about what new creature have I not seen in the previous edition of Riven, and where does it fit? I really love these guys. I have been absolutely enchanted by them. I'm too close to where you want to land, hey? Is there something here to look at? Everywhere else. Hi. Tell me your secrets, please. Whisper to me as though I were Gandalf. So I'm gonna have to figure out how this guy plays into things. And you guys said that I've seen that there's 6 totems. There's I need 6 markers, not 5. I just need to figure out what the extra animal is, which I'm pretty sure it's this butterfly, although I don't remember there being a butterfly on those standing stones, so we'll have to take another look at those and figure out where it goes in what order. So where actually, maybe we should go back. We haven't been We haven't been back to the Gold Dome recently. That might be a good place to go. Sorry, Flutterby. I didn't mean to interrupt. There it is. So if we go that way. This. Uh-huh. Thank you. Yeah, no. Thank you. No. There. Okay. I also want to know, where's the whirly star? That one. That thing is like literally orbiting. And I'd kind of like to know why. Actually, is it the same one? That's a good question. Because we've just seen two go that way and nothing. Okay, now you're coming. Probably overthinking this. Okay. Back we go. This was the other one. And I think this is the one that we need those fire marble equations for. Open sesame. Thank you. I just realized my chat box from when I'm streaming is on the screen. There we go. That's better. We don't need that. I apologize for the distracting pale box. Okay. Yes, yes. Make your grumbly noise. So. I have not been over here in a while. This is... Oh, that's... Right. Right. Come on. Boop. Mm-hmm. No, I totally should have done that the other way. This is fine. And is this the one? Yeah. So most of what I want to do at the moment... hold on. That looks like it needs a key. Oh, that's an interesting way of doing it. Okay. Okay. This is definitely gonna get us to Gen's new lab. And I was right about these, it looks like. Just gotta figure out... Okay. Why do some of them have their numbers and others don't? Is that because I was playing with them on the other side already? I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Or if it's just... No, it's not the light. Oh, maybe it is light. Yeah, it's the light coming in. So why is the light coming in on that one, but it's not correct? Or is it just eroded? Maybe it's just eroded? It's like one of those... It reminds me of one of those lasers from like an old science fiction movie. And that looks like we've got 3 out of the 5 lit. Okay. I don't... that was jittery. We'll wait a little bit because I don't want to go through yet. And it looked like Gen's personal chamber thing isn't on Prison Island in this one. So it's actually probably... It's probably over here in the new lab. Okay. Oh, that's the projection room. We don't actually need that. I feel kind of lost because it's been so long since I've been over here. I'm sorry that I'm repeating things I've already done. Oh, and that's the bridge that I broke. That's right. Okay. They're gonna make a difference. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can... Oh, I need to sit with those numbers. Yeah. At some point, it must have been removed from this one, but in the original one, there was a point at which I thought there is a flicker of Gen leaving this projector. But maybe I'm remembering wrong. Oh, I haven't gone back to... Well, okay, that's fine. I haven't gone back to look at the Starfisher since turning on the other things, and I don't remember that big tube. But that's fine, we'll come back to it. We'll have time, I'm sure. I would like transportation, please. Hello. Thank you. So, while we're driving, I'm going to look at numbers. Oh yeah, book stand. Okay. Book stand is activated. So, work. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Work is... number 6, definitely. Hello, boys. We've got the fish. Yes. Hi. Snort, snort. Hello. Can I see you on this side? No. I don't get to see you on this side. The fish that was painted here that the glowy butterflies have revealed. That fish. And that was number 5, because that was the one on Prison Island. Where's my diagram? Number 5. This one is Beetle. Beetle is number 3. Yep. Oh, wait. Beetle. 5 is fish. 6 was work. Oh, I forgot this glow. There weren't any that I could see from here. The up top one is just how to water the beetle. I would like down, please. I would like down, please. Thank you. Okay. Stupid camera watching me. We've got our exit here. And we've got where's my little dagger? This guy here is the Sunner, which is the one in Gen's old office. Which is number 1. Frog is number 2. Which means butterfly has to be number 4 if it's a thing. Okay. Okay. I don't need to walk through all of them. No, I do want to go back and check the frog. I want to go back and check the frog. Frog is up. Frog is... Hello, flutterbys. I can actually get over here. I mean, I can get through this thing at some point if it keeps growing, maybe. I must have come and looked at it earlier when it was still a gaping star hole. Right? Are you? You are indeed a number 2. Okay. And you are indeed a frog. The frog is 2. Which means if butterfly is a thing, butterfly is number 4. Excuse me. Excuse me, coming through. Pardon me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. No, I don't want the work statue. I want the village. And back to the prison again. I can do that from the work statue. Can't I? No, hold on. That... No, I have to do it. Yes. Work statue. Submersible. I know what this map is like. I've played this game before. Elevator, please. Thank you. Oh no, I need to go down. I'm just taking the scenic road. Turn, please. That looks like a person. That was really scary for a moment. I don't understand why it looks like a person. Right. It always weirds me out that it comes up. I don't know why it weirds me out. Oh, wow. You were close. The submersible is so cute. It's so round. I quite like it. I almost feel like it needs a name. Or at least googly eyes. Okay. So. To the prison. Go. The water meter thing says we're fully underwater. Yeah. I was wondering if that was a glitch. Lovely. Okay. Okay, here we go. This. And this, right? Nope, that's the exit. Not where I want to go. Ah, here. Is Flutterby here? Not. Maybe? It's definitely not the answer. I don't know if that's... I mean, that's the closest thing. Right? This looks like a flying seahorse. Or a really big mosquito. That one's a crabby. That's a fishy. That's a bird. That's also a bird. That's also a fish. That's the scarab thing. And that's the only things that have wings. Right? And these guys, I think these guys as an actual creature were in the original, but I don't see them anymore. So, my list. Sunner. Where'd you go? There you are. Mr. Plesiosaur. Frog. Beetle. Beetle. Butterfly. We're gonna try this. Either that or this one, but I have my doubts at this one. Fish. And work. Yes? Hey! Thank you for your nudges, guys. I really appreciate it. Oh, that is the coolest. I love that the water just physically moved. Amazing. Amazing. I love it. Okay. Well, here we go. Oh, that's such a good mechanic. I love that. That's a really good way. Oh, they did such a good job with this. I really like this, guys. Okay, let's go get captured. You're not just standing here? Hi. Your hands are out. I don't remember those doors being there.
Palo! Palo! Yo olay! Yo olay!
Busqué al inicio.
I don't know if I said this last time, but I got so nervous when I got to this point in the original game. I was so scared that I'd just ruined things. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh. Oh, they forced the cutscene. Okay.
Katarina e now da saya yapalo. Yapa ay manay yalepo. Miltisay. Bekaretere wirape yelo kene falapo. Tisay. Why te falupe? Now Katarina ne. Wisi fapolo ya sepe yai.
Well, I want to read first. I totally forgot I had these. Oh yeah, that's my mist book. There. They held for more than 30 years, but the corrections I made to Riven have finally failed. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. Right, this is Atris's. Bring Catherine back. Problem is again. Right, prison. And oh, okay. I write quickly from my prison. Along with this journal, I've instructed Nayla to return the book that the Moiety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gen will wish to use it, though he will undoubtedly be suspicious. Once he's out of the way, you'll still need the combination to release me. I'm told he keeps it somewhere in his outpost on 233. Then I assume we're to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done, but don't attempt it before I'm released. Cool. I love that there's still the opportunity to read her whole journal. I'm gonna read through. I don't know if anything's changed, so. It's been 1 week since I've linked to Riven, and I'm still reeling from the changes I've witnessed. Even before my eyes could adjust, the smell of my homeland embraced me. The sweet, salt air was instantly familiar, but the scene that soon resolved was not. As I stood there, struggling to make sense of what I was seeing, a violent clang sounded, and bars appeared before me. It was then that I must have been darted from my memory after his cloudy. A Rivenese man, shabbily dressed in militaristic attire, was shouting something at me. He seemed to be attempting to speak Dani, but his grasp of the language was so poor I couldn't make out his words. And then the world went dark. Many voices passed until at last I woke to a familiar face, Eddie. After all this time, she's still as warm and kind as ever, and yet the years have clearly wounded her, as they've wounded everyone whose world became a prison when Gen was trapped here. Everything is tinged with pain and loss, even Eddie's bright smile, though she does her best to hide it. A desperate urgency, squelched by unuttered fears, seethes beneath her cordial veneer. When Atris and I left Gen here all those years ago, I was haunted by visions of what had become of my people and how they might have come to suffer under his rule. But the injustices I imagined were nothing compared to the atrocities that have actually come to pass. The following is a chronicle of what I have learned, a record of all that has happened should I no longer be here to tell it. The moiety. It seems the confrontation that led to Gen's entrapment on Riven was witnessed by some of the Rivenese, but their interpretation of the event was skewed, no doubt due to Gen's overinflated view of himself. Atris and I had hoped that stripping him of his ability to link to other worlds might lead people to conclude that his claims of godhood were false, but it appears the opposite has come to pass. If Gen was a god and we had vanquished him, then we must be greater gods. It was thus assumed that my absence was only temporary, and that I would surely return one day to set the world right again. Thus, the moiety, the name they adopted after Gen's disparaging use of the term, were born, sworn enemies of Gen, and devotees of me. I had no inkling of this misconception about myself until 2 days ago, though in hindsight it makes perfect sense, given the way I've been treated. For their part, they naturally assumed an omniscient deity might well be aware of their own divine status, so there was no need to inform me. I only finally pieced it together during a recent underground gathering, where they reenacted their version of the story of my life. A riveting tale that culminated with the confrontation between Atris, myself, and Gen at the edge of the fissure. The events had been exaggerated to such grandiose proportions that I found it hard at times to suppress my laughter, and yet this myth has also given them the courage to stand against Gen, and the hope that they might someday be delivered from the relentless inhumanities of his authoritarian rule. I'm going to interrupt here. I do like that Catherine still has a really clear description of how imperialistic Gen is, how entitled Gen is. Because I feel like that kind of was lost a little bit from his journal. Even so, the fact that I'm the one who has been cast as their savior, an omnipotent being who would one day return to Riven, overthrow Gen, and lead them to a new paradise is deeply unsettling. I would do anything to free my people from this hellish existence, but I am not who they think I am. How, though, can I dissuade them from this notion without also crushing their hopes? As Gen's power grew, so did the moiety, and in order to evade his persecution, for he would wipe them all out in an instant if he could, they had to become more and more adept at concealing themselves. They make use of a network of caves so far he's failed to discover, but I fear it is only a matter of time before they're found out. Oh, I was one off. Okay. There is a way to it. Very nice. I like this. Further jeopardizing their existence is the fact that the moiety absolutely refuse to sever their ties with those who have sided with Gen. The two factions thus live together in surprising harmony, their overarching sense of cultured unity appearing to outweigh their schism. At least for now. I heard today that Father and Emmett were inducted into Gen's labor force. I so longed to see them. But a dimness shrouded Eddie's face so abruptly when I asked of them that it left me hesitant to press the matter further. I must know the truth eventually, but I fear the news will not be good. From the moment of their inception, the Moiety have sought to disrupt Gen's plans at every turn, sabotaging his constructions, stealing from his precious stockpiles, and keeping an ever-watchful eye on his every move. They shroud themselves with dark coverings and delight in the fact that their enemies are often frightened by their wraith-like appearance, and their almost preternatural, I think I stumbled on that word last time, preternatural ability to wreak havoc without detection or consequence. It was in the course of one of these forays that I was fortuitously rescued when I first linked to Riven. I shudder to think what might have become of me had that scout not been there to intervene. Gen will certainly be hunting for me now, no doubt furious at his guard's failure to detain me. He must be even angrier, though, at the loss of the linking book he surely assumes I brought with me. That I was deceived into linking into Riven without a way back is a bitter, yet fortunate fact, for it may well have meant the death of us had a path back to Danny fallen into his destructive hands. When he finally discovers that I came here empty-handed, he'll be angrier still. That's some consolation, at least. I've glimpsed the final breath of a dying age. A tiny blade cuts the void, the white whole divided. Again and again, dipped in black, the nib drips red. The art of genocide. Today I ventured above ground to see for myself what has become of the island. I hoped it wouldn't be as bad as the Moiety had reported. It was worse. Having lived with it for so long, the Rivenese have become inured to the steady decay around them. But I was devastated. As we wound our way through the underbrush, I found myself once again breathing in my youth, the ocean air transporting me back in a matter of seconds. But as my eyes again took hold, the warmth of those memories vanished, and I was left with nothing but numbness. We'd reached a bluff that had not been there the last time I visited my home. Riven, which was once an island, has split into 5 distinct pieces that have since drifted apart at an astonishing rate. 4 of these have been claimed by Gen as his exclusive domain. Only those who have sworn their loyalty to him are ever allowed to access them. From my vantage point at the edge of the trees, I could see 3 of them, now blighted with Gen's monomaniacal constructions. These islands are closely guarded and pose great personal risk to the Moiety, although that hasn't kept them from doing whatever they can to thwart Gen's endeavors. The 4th island I could not see, as if it has crept away to some distance and now lies concealed by fog. The Moiety said that Gen originally governed from this small island, living and working in the protected space he built for himself, atop a stump that remains where the great tree used to stand. The only surviving forest is located here, on the largest island, where the village also remains. This island was ostensibly intended to be the province of the people, but it, too, has been irrevocably marred by Gen's oppressive intrusions. Words fall. Brittle brown leaves masquerading as green should never have held lives both bloomed and as yet unseeded. I feel nothing today. I'm an outcast among outcasts. The diaspora of a dying world. Despite my repeated protestations, the Moiety continue to treat me differently, their desperate need precluding any dissuasion from the belief that I am some sort of messiah come to save them. They misconstrue my every move as a validation of their faith, whispering of how I walked the island bold and unafraid, mistaking my outrage at the island's devastation for bravery. But I am afraid, for I know something that the Moiety do not. The underlying reason for the island's accelerated decay. Gen wrote this world, and so it will fail, as all of Gen's ages ultimately fail. I must make the Moiety understand this. But I cannot talk to Eddie. There were brief moments soon after my arrival where my divine status was forgotten and I was simply Katron again. But they're almost non-existent now. There is one person, however, who seems immune to these fallacious notions. Nayla. Her gaze has never faltered when I've dared hint at the uncomfortable truth. I feel I could trust her to bear the full brunt of it. Gen is making books. How did I not know this until now? Atris and I knew he would likely attempt it, as he has adopted the paranoid practice of writing all the necessary materials into his ages. He's been exploiting the natural resources and people of Riven as fodder for his mad pursuit to further his colonialist ideals. Thankfully, it sounds as if he has not yet succeeded. As painful as it's been, the fact that I've returned to Riven at this crucial juncture is fortuitous. The age is crumbling. My people are suffering, and if Gen succeeds in securing his freedom, other worlds will suffer the same. The Moiety are looking to me. I may only be mortal, but I have to do something. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time since my last entry. There's much to tell. It was hard to recognize, but I found the Starfisher. It is located on what Gen refers to as his Temple Island. Though the Mighty prefer to use the Rivenese word Alapo, which means water pool. They've thus taken to referring to the void itself as Alaturan, Pool of Stars. It's the very fissure that allowed Atris and me to escape this age without leaving a linking book behind us, although it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. Several derelict devices from that time remain mounted to its surface, including a hatch with a windowed viewport, a large telescope, and the mechanical lift that was used to install it, the combination to which was acquired by the Moiety long ago. Aha, numbers. That is a much more complicated set of numbers. Okay, combination. 2, 1, 1, 2, 10, 3, 3, 6, 6, 3. Okay. In the early days, the Moiety briefly considered reopening the fissure. Thankfully, they decided against it. Had they attempted it back then, results might well have been catastrophic. Were they to do so today, it would certainly mean the end of Riven. I'm told that in the days immediately following Gen's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure, for he had seen the mist book fall from Atris's hands into that very same space. To this end, he sacrificed several poor souls, alleged transgressors of the law, by throwing them into the hatch so that he could observe their fate. It is said that they did not die, but what becomes of them remains a mystery. And that original fissure is no longer alone. New ruptures have appeared in the recent years at various locations around the islands. In some instances, the Moiety were able to glimpse the breaches before Gen and his minions moved in to contain them. The descriptions support my suspicion that the forces that are tearing Riven apart are more than merely geological. More troubling, however, is that Gen is not simply containing these rifts, but is somehow using them to travel between the islands, and that he has also reportedly devised a way to harvest the energies from the expanse for some as yet unknown purpose. How like him to wantonly exploit for his own selfish gain that which he does not understand. The star field beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. That's how Atris described his brief time within the Expanse before he linked out, leaving his mist book adrift within it. He was never able to conclude upon its nature, but I cannot help but feel that there must be some greater pneuma beneath it. Pneuma is the word spirit, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Latin or Greek? Something I should have mentioned earlier, one of the colossal blades that appeared in the course of our escape from Riven, the great dagger that stands at the end of the fissure, has been adopted by the Moiety as the emblem of their struggle. They have their own explanation as to how it came to be, of course, but their choice is more apt than they know, as that dagger, along with the other blades, was a manifestation of my rage at the desecration that Gen had already wrought upon my world. I haven't told the Moiety that I wrote it into this age, as I fear that would only fuel their overestimation of me. But I can't deny it pleases me to have inadvertently provided them with such a fitting symbol for their cause. My limited encounters with Gen's followers have been discouraging. Whenever I've attempted to engage them, they've fled from me. I heard an interesting tale from the Moiety last night, which may help explain this. Soon after we trapped Gen on Riven, he claimed that it was he who had been responsible for the Great Blades, summoning them as a preemptively punitive reminder of the obeisance he expected. In village circles, it's told that this act marked the beginning of a period of restitution, at the end of which, provided they had proven their devotion to him, they would be delivered into a new and better existence. I will continue my attempts to intervene on their behalf. The cage has finally failed. Gen is free. My sources have confirmed that Gen has managed to create a functional linking book. In fact, he had done so before my arrival, but kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest acolytes were aware of it. In keeping with his callous regard for the worlds he creates, he has simply named this age 233. It is not yet known whether he's written others. I've also just learned that years ago, a mighty scout managed to steal a book that was an early failure that Gen had intended to destroy. It was largely complete, but didn't work. I wasn't told about it until now because they thought it was useless. Gen struggled for decades, but he could never get a conventional linking book to work. Then one day, he began construction on a cumbersome mechanical solution, a complex array of devices designed to harness the energies of the starry expanse and use them to suppress his book's inherent flaws. The design phase was chaotic and often dangerous. The Moiety tell of tremendous explosions as Gen sought to contain and wield forces that he knew little or nothing about. But he's nothing if not determined, and eventually he was able to use this enormous crutch to link another age. I can't deny his brilliance, but it is an abominable solution, brutish and overwrought, and all but entirely unnecessary. I've studied the partially burned book that the Moiety took from him. Although he sought retribution for the affront, he appears to have been otherwise untroubled by the theft, no doubt assuming the book would be useless in the Moiety's hands. But I can see what they could not. The book may yet be salvageable. The age the book describes is wholly unsuitable as a home for the Moiety, but I think it can be modified. I will dream. I've nearly finished writing the Moiety's age. The world as described is harsher and more desolate than they're used to, but they should be able to sustain themselves there. But we'll need a second book. Gen has been spending most of his time in 233 lately, so the danger's less, but getting into his lab will still be difficult. The coming collapse weighs in the air, blurring my vision both day and night. We must act soon. Success. We have secured a second book. Though I worry now that Gen will miss it and deduce our plans before we're ready. The descriptive book I've prepared as a refuge for the rebels is useless unless I can find a way to correct its inherent flaws. Gen's massive machine mainly functions to manipulate the energies within the expanse. It serves its purpose, but its excess seems unwarranted. The Rivenese have long used crystalline substrates as an elegant means to manipulate light. If I could just find the right material. Last night's dreams have delivered me a perilous plan. I will write this substance into the new Moiety age. Cool. If we could temporarily access Gen's apparatus, we could use our book to link to this new age and search for the crystal. Someone would then have to carry the book back to safety once the link was made. If it fell into Gen's hands, all would be lost. When Gen links to 233, one of his acolytes always remains to shut down the device. We'll have to get to him before he can do so, which means we'll only have one chance before they're alerted to our presence. Everything's ready. I have written the material into the new age, and I have prepared the second linking book as a return path to Riven. Of course, it too suffers the same deficiencies as all of Gen's books, so it won't work unless it's augmented. Once I'm in the new age, I'll have to locate the crystal and adapt it to heal the gateway image, which should render the book functional. I can then use the second linking book to return to Riven with more of this material. It's risky, but if all goes well, the Moiety and any others we can convince to join them will finally have an escape. I can't help but laugh at the absurdity of this plan. I sound like Atris. Should I fail to return, it will likely mean the end of my life, but my only real fear is for my people. Everyone assures me they've complete faith that I will accomplish my task and lead them to a better world. That's the fulfillment of the prophecy, after all. But underneath, they are just as tense and fearful as I am. What will become of them if I do not return? Will they perish here on Riven? Or attempt to follow me through this new book to an unknown fate? I don't know what to tell them. Against all odds, it is done. We have already evacuated most of our members to this new age, which the Moiety have named Tay. The world is more beautiful than I'd anticipated, so I'm pleased. The Rivenese have been liberated, at least. They stand beneath an open sky, unafraid, dazzled by their freedom. They are happy. But there is still much to be done. The age is still vulnerable. The only way to completely protect it from Gen is to destroy the books once everyone is safely in Tay. I'm hesitant to bring this up with the Moiety until they've had a chance to acclimate themselves to the new world, as it would mean being forever exiled from the only home they've ever known. Nor am I eager to sever my own connection and my only path back to my life and family on Mist. But for the greater good, it must be done. For the moment, I'm safe, but our activities could arouse Gen's suspicions at any moment. We cannot delay. I will return to Riven tomorrow to resume my attempts to persuade the remaining holdouts to join the others in Tay. For now, though, I must rest. Okay. Oh my word. I did not expect this. I did not expect to actually get to see the inside. Okay, not gonna lie, guys. I was feeling really bad for starting to read Catherine's journal right at the end. And wow. I'm a little bit speechless. Okay, we're definitely over time. I want to thoroughly enjoy this. There's an elevator. But I'm not... Am I going down? Can I go down? I'm not allowed going down. Okay. No, this is very, very linear right now. My word. Please tell me you were equally delighted. I absolutely adore this. It's like hornets' nests everywhere. Can I go in? No? I won't be able to go past you. Oh, they did such a good job making this an echo of how the Rivenese live, only inside a tree. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay. This will be where we end it today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Yeah. Have a good weekend. Again, happy Easter if you celebrate. Yeah. Catch you next time.